right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the New Mexico Museum of Art. How are you? Okay, that's not a bad level of enthusiasm for right after lunch. I understand how that works. So my name is Chris Nail. I'm the head of education for here at the museum, and I want to welcome all of you. For those of you who are a little new to this space in the museum, this program, which we kind of have some ideas about continuing on down the road, we'll kind of see where that goes. When our museum opened in 1917, this space specifically was really intended to be a place of community gathering and a place where the arts, sort of that big encompassing term of the arts, could really be celebrated. So whether it's music, it's performance, it's literature, writing in all of its forms, and of course the visual arts. We're an art museum, that's something that we kind of like to do. But throughout our history, that is something that has been really central to this space. So in celebrating our exhibition, Poetic Justice, it kind of seemed like a really good idea for us to open up some sort of poetry-based event. Now granted, today was the day that we're doing that. It's the third time it's been rescheduled, so we've had a few bumps along the way, as I think we have in a lot of ways in the last couple of years. So we're really happy that everybody's been able to come out and to join us and to share in this experience. A couple of things just to put on everybody's radar. So this is a free community day. So once we're done here, the galleries are open, the exhibition Poetic Justice, which won't be up for that much longer. I really strongly encourage everybody to go in, take a look, and see what's there. This morning, one of the poets who was actually able to create original works in response to that exhibition, Edie Song, did some really powerful readings on stage just a couple hours ago here. So you'll find some QR codes in the galleries that will actually take you to recordings of some of those poems, so I encourage you to check it out. Something new, and kind of along that lines of community here. Our First Friday program is in the process of being really reinvigorated, so we're kind of reinventing it. So the first Friday of every month from 5 to 7, we're free and open for everybody. We don't care if you're a local. We don't care if you're from out of town. We want everybody to come visit us. But we're also going to start having a lot more programs going on those evenings. So this next First Friday on June 6th from 5 to 7, Rashan Ahmad is going to be doing a live DJ set in response to the work in Poetic Justice in the galleries. So I encourage everybody to come in and check that out. Another thing that we're doing that, again, to kind of extend out to other forms of the arts. We have a new performing arts initiative that we are working out with a number of public high schools in Santa Fe. So I didn't let the choir director know this, but I'm going to go ahead and promote this. We just booked the Santa Fe High School Choir for the October 1st Friday, and we're really looking forward to becoming a regular venue for those kinds of high school performing arts. So whether it's a choir, it's a jazz band, it's theater, whatever it is, we're kind of excited to be an ongoing host for that. So to kind of get things going, let's see, a couple of quick questions. I'm really curious. So now that we're able to come back, we're doing things in person again, I'm really curious how everyone heard about this. Could I just have a quick show of hands? How many of you heard about this because a teacher or somebody in school brought it to your attention? Okay, 2. All right. If you're the only one putting your hand up, don't be shy. It's all right. How many of you found out about this through social media? Okay. How many of you found out about this through some form of newsletter that was sent out from some organization? Okay. A few more. Mona, you probably just heard me talking about it at several meetings. Mona's one of our fantastic docents. Okay, great. So to get going, I need to make a really important introduction. So as the head of education, I am really fortunate that I have an amazing team that works with me. If any of you checked out our library open house or took a look at the archives, Abby Smith is our librarian and archivist. She also runs all of our social media right now, is really fantastic and has been very supportive of this. But the person that most of you who have probably had some form of interaction with is our museum educator, Amanda Formby. So even though I get to run up to the mic first, absolutely Amanda has done all of the heavy lifting, all of the emails, sending things out all over the state to try to make today happen. So I am really happy to introduce Amanda Formby, who is going to be running this event for the rest of the day. So thanks a lot and enjoy.
All right. Thank you, Chris, for that really nice introduction and covering a lot of the, overall bullet points. So he's covered a lot of things I don't need to rehash, but I do want to just echo him and say thank you all for signing up, for coming to perform and to come and support the performers. We're hoping this is, just the first of its kind in terms of events that can really showcase the really talented, creative youth that we have in New Mexico. I do want to mention we have a number of poets who have signed up for today, and you'll see their names on the screen as we go through. But this is an event for New Mexico youth 25 and younger. So at the end, I'm going to open it up if anybody who didn't sign up would want to come up here and share one of their original works. And that's poetry, creative writing. Feel free to jump on up here. And then after this event, directly following it, I'll encourage all of you to go out through our lobby and then into our courtyard. We have catered some cookies and coffee. There will be some decaf for those of you who don't want to have too much caffeine this late in the day. Please enjoy that as a little mini reception after this event. And one other thing, for any of you who might want to come back and see the shows in the exhibition if you don't have time today, I'd just like to reiterate that we are always free for anyone 16 and younger. So please definitely keep that in mind and come and see us. So with that, I will introduce our first, I don't believe Emma is here, so we will jump to Rory. Rory is 8 years old and goes to the El Dorado Community School. And I would like to invite her to come up and read her original work, The Wolf Princess.
Wolves live in my hemisphere. I ride my wolf with no fear. I have no possessions, none. I would never use a gun. With my life I will protect the forest. In my mind I have only one quest. I stand on the side of nature. To care for the forest I cannot make her. The demon boar will run no more. He ate her from the inside out. With the forest spirits I soar, click-clack in and out with no doubt. The boy came to me in the misty moss. I thrust my spear with fury and loss. We understand what the red elk speaks. The boy and I sit by the creek. The trees cry out as they die, but you cannot hear them. Why? Mama Wolf calls me poor, ugly, beautiful daughter. I smell like a human. I have not quite caught her. The night walker walks with a heavy head. On the forest floor she makes her bed. Everybody wants everything, but they cannot have it. The pain may sting. Against an iron town we rise. The wolf's jaws supersized. My spirit will always be lit like a flame. Princess Mononoke, remember my name.
Great. Thank you so much, Rory. Next, I would like to introduce Brooke, 11 years old, and attends Santa Fe Waldorf.
Grief creeps, slowly overwhelmed by common light. The inner battle. Running, padding feet, to the cliff's edge. Home. Greatness lies in wonder filled, flow down from the great mystery, gives freedom to speak with beauty. Ice flow down from melting rock, wonder in my eye, have love for the moonlit tides, so true to the thought sea. Sky blank of black and cobalt, silent through the night, but from behind the mountain peak, blue, green, pink, and purple, wonder lining the silver stars.
Thank you, Brooke. Next, we have Emily, who attends Turquoise Trail Charter School.
Dancing through. Feet tucked precisely into fifth position, shivering with tension, ready to spring into action. Slippers brush against the floor, forming the perfect undo. I am summoned forth, all too soon, all too quick. Something slips away from me. A tight feeling in my chest, or unaddressed turmoil at the back of my mind. Everything swirls in the gentle breeze out of the studio window. 2, 4, 6. Count soothe my soul. A plie is a reflection, a simple bend, the gentle curve of a hill. My leg shakes with exhaustion, hovering in an arabesque. My chest rises and falls. Content settles into my mind. My muscles ache with pain. A smile rests gently upon my face. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. And next, Leah from Milagro.
Before I start, I'd like to begin to say that mine is more like about missing a person, and really it could be anything like a relationship, maybe a friendship, a friend, maybe a parent, well, just really anyone you could miss. Mine's called I Can't Stop Thinking. Every day is the same. I can't go a day without thinking about you. The little things remind me of the memories of us, and it drives me insane. So insane that I stay up all night asking God to help me stop thinking about you, or to put you back in my life for the better. You made me a better person, a happy girl, a nice girl, a positive girl. And now that you're gone, because I lost you due to my fury, I can't stop replaying our last moments in my head. So I make up this imaginary world of just me and you, so many other memories we could create. And at this point, I think I'm thinking of letting go of that little life I have to stay in that imaginary world, and not having to wake up to this boring life to do school, which makes me depressed, disappointing my teachers around me because I have no motivation, and the stuff that does motivate me takes time and a place. I can't do all this without you. So I'm hoping that every night that you come back, and when I do fall asleep, I'm dreaming about you. But maybe it is time to move on. In a way, I'm trying so hard. I cry till my head starts to throb and hurt. The loud music is the only thing that can drown out all these thoughts. And my blood is racing, it's racing until it all stops. It stops. I fall to the ground, and now I'm really not waking up from the world. I'm here forever. I could finally be with you forever with no problems or issues, and I'm happy. But wait, my family's not here. I didn't imagine them here. Now that They're back on earth, wishing I'd wake. I see you standing by me and looking as if mad, sad, and a relief. And it's me. I'm the issue from keeping you happy, but now I'm happy with you in my own head where nothing can separate me from you, but you saw the scars and you felt the fights. You shed the tears and now you feel, I don't know what you feel, but I hope you miss me because I miss you so much. I still see you in my room and I hear your voice sometimes, thinking about all the excitement of you coming to see me and spend time with me, go on adventures. I think and think, that's all I do. Even the sound of the world doing their own things, people with their own lives, the cars driving by, the sirens in my mind, still makes me think of you. When I hear rain, when I smell rain, when the sun sets, when I'm outside, when I'm inside, when I'm at school, when I'm eating, when I'm listening to music, just in my head is you and will only be you.
Thank you, Leah. All right. And now we have Ash, who attends Mandela International School.
There's a door with a single keyhole. It will open regardless of what key you use to unlock it. All keys will open this door. What's on the other side, however, depends on the key. What key would you use? I ask her through a mouthful of rocky road. A copper key hanging around my neck. It's the one my mother gave me. I don't know why. In the background, the TV is on, bringing in the latest news about the war. I don't know. Maggie's eyes are downcast, staring at the bowl in front of her. She was conscripted yesterday. I don't mention it again. The next day, the bus comes, and she climbs on, a piece of my newly shorn hair tucked away in the locket around her neck. I touch my own locket. There's plenty of jobs for people like me. I get put in resources, endless lines of statistics and fractions calculating the death toll. It doesn't affect me as much as it affects the others. I help people as much as I can. I get letters from Maggie sometimes. I send her some cookies. They never arrive. I'm reassigned to managing conscription. To a lot of people, it's worse than resources. I make sure to put the new kids in non-combat situations and send veterans from the last war to look after them. I get a lot of thanks from tearful parents. Maggie comes home for a week. We go out for ice cream. She stays at my house. I brush her hair for her as she cries about the horrors of the front lines. Then they have to discharge you, I tell her as she sobs about the leader of the enemy who sends brainwashed children to fight them. I don't tell her we do the same. And once that we do, we can make a gelato and send it for 50 cents a scoop. She smiles. What would we do with all that money? We'd start a farm. She laughs. She always wanted a farm. Maggie is promoted to captain. She leaves 2 days too early. Her eyes are glassy as she boards the bus back to the front. I am told that all non-essential workers are to be evacuated. I stay anyways, cooking food for all the others who stayed. They thank me with weary smiles. Then it's Christmas, and everyone except me is home for the night. I sit at my desk, fingering the key my mother gave to me. It's early in the morning when a girl stumbles in. She's scared and hurting and didn't know where else to go. She says she's only 15 and that her name is Liz. I clean her up and give her civilian clothes and tell her that her name is Liz Mason and that she is my niece. I burn her golden armband. We go home. It's Christmas, after all. I never wanted to hurt anyone, she tells me over a bowl of lavender gelato. Maggie's favorite. I believe her. I get one last letter from Maggie. It was written in black ink and the corner was red. She says she is never coming home and that if she could never face me. I write a letter back, but I never send it. When I arrive at the office, the others are gathered around the TV. Someone from higher up has turned. I leave before I see her face. My boss gives me 3 days off. I go for a walk. I get ice cream from our favorite spot. One of my coworkers tries to steal money from private accounts. She cries when I catch her. There is never enough money these days. I give her a check. Her son survives the operation. I work long hours. I bring my boss a casserole. She is slumped at her desk, a letter crumpled in her hand. Her wife was killed in action yesterday. I drive her home. I'm promoted. I'm in charge of everything that comes through our office. I get kids away from the war front. I bring others home. I reunite families, parents and children, partners, siblings. Kids sneak into the city and I give them new homes. I burn their golden armbands. Liz goes to live with them. I file intel and bring in some of Liz's tech friends to make an algorithm. We manage to predict the next attack. The war grows ever closer, and this time it's led by a living bomb, codenamed Magpie. I try to find a way to help her. We lose 3 more battles. I still have dinners with Liz once a week. They never wanted to hurt anyone, she says across the table. I take her hand, staring at the picture of Maggie on the wall. The Magpie leads her army closer. I get back to work. The streets are burning and people are shouting. I destroy the papers in my office, telling where all the kids I had helped found a home. Then I leave. There's fighting, but no one notices me. I walk to that ice cream shop by the bay, the one Maggie and I used to always go to. She's sitting on a bench, her head in her hands. I set the cup of lavender gelato down beside her. I never wanted to hurt anyone, she whispers, staring down at the flames dancing through her veins. I reach over and untie the golden armband. I believe her. I have a present for you. I pull the key off the chain around my neck. She stares at me. We walk side by side to the doorway at the edge of town. Her hands are shaking, so I use the key. It opened to a small cabin, built on a cliff overlooking a forest and waterfall. It's where I grew up, I explained. It's a beautiful place. No one knows how I killed her. Stories spread. They say I lost my hand in the fight. But no, that happened a long time ago, when I was just a kid in a gold armband fighting a war I had no part in. I wear black. I pay for a plot and a gravestone, and I write Magpie on it. I leave white roses. I drive away. I find my way to a small cabin in the mountains. Maggie, just dear old Maggie, welcomes me. There's a door with a single keyhole. It'll open regardless of what key you use to unlock it. All keys will open the door. What's on the other side, however, depends on the key. And now I finally know why my mother gave me the key. And then my second poem. The trees turn their million-eyed gaze as underneath I passed, over sacred stone and hallowed ground to that mansion of the past. Colors bled unto the breeze as near the flowers I danced, and beasts watched unseen from the places in between. The sun set behind the mountains like a remnant of the vast, as it painted the world with colors of a time surpassed. Up the ancient stairs I stepped like so many before, up to the old oak door. The mansion was of color, its walls a stony gray. The roof tiles glinted, a power made of clay. The paint upon the rampart was long ago dry, but still shone with the brightness of the ever-flowing sky. Stars began to shimmer as that doorknob called to me, singing the song of peace and everlasting tranquility. Inside a roar began like the burning of a hearth, and the beasts began a chorus with the coming of the dark. The inside smelled of spice like the cooking of a meal, and a dapper dog came forth, head bowed upon my heel. I fastened my cloak around his shoulders and my hood upon his head. Never have I heard before the joy to me, he said. He led me to the sitting room and sat me near the hearth. The room was lit with tiny lights from a million tiny lamps. The chairs were of a floral print, a masterful design. The tea there smelled of ink, and the food was dry as paper. The rats chattered for a story, so I took my pen and wrote the story of the baker. The animals worked strangely throughout the night and day to make the world keep turning and the lands beneath them stay, as the planet was ever changing in the light of today. It was early in the morning when at last I took my leave. I took with me a package and a parcel full of tea. My yellow cloak once more was strung around about my shoulders, and my hood was placed neatly upon a head of brownish hair. As a parting gift, I left with them from me a golden coin from a very distant country. They took the gift with excitement and bid me hasty farewells as they watched a ship upon the coin drift in uncertain swells. Never again have I set foot inside that place, even after the joyous excitement shone upon my face. I do hope the animals are living happily as the seabirds sing to me in that unforgettable distant country.
Thank you, Ash. So at this point, we have concluded the scheduled presenters, but I would like to open it up for anyone who maybe has an additional work they want to perform, or someone who would like to walk up and perform something for the audience. Yes. I saw two hands, so one and then the other. Will you share your name? Will you tell them your name?
My name is Stella. I'm 8. I wrote this poem. Seasons. In spring, dogs play. In summer, it is a hot day. In fall, leaves lay. In winter, there is a holiday. I love the seasons. Hi, my name is Fiona. I'm 5. Flowers are falling in spring. And I love it when it does it. And I love it when it does it.
Thank you, Stella and Fiona. Do we have anyone else who would like to come up and share? Sure. All right. Well, if that's it, this concludes our open mic. I want to just thank you again to everyone who came to support these performers, these writers and poets, and also just a thank you to the poets and writers who performed today. I know, remembering back to my youth, like it's a very brave thing to get up and share your art with the world. So thank you for doing that today. And next, we will be having a little reception in our courtyard with cookies and some coffee from Henry and the Fish. So I hope you can stay enjoying that. Otherwise, we will see you back here hopefully again for another event in the future.